Hey guys, welcome back to the show. My name is John and today we're going to have a crafting episode. Specifically, we're going to craft a ship. Let's go guys.
There you are. It is time to bend the steel. Welcome to the forge.
Hey guys, welcome to the Nerd Hangout, the Forge. Well, the first thing you need to do when you're going to make an amazing craft is that you need a blueprint. Let's go. Fragile little thing. Well, we're going to make a ship. What we're doing here. Yeah. This, and then we need to.
19 centimeter kind of thing. Right.
And voila! You suck! I suck at drawing. You know what? I never use blueprints. We're gonna wing it. Yeah, no guys, I actually never use blueprints or sketches. I'm a horrible drawer. I can't draw things like that. Although, of course, I will line things up to get accurate measurements. Always do that when you do crafting, and of course I'm going to do that. Today I'm going to use these leftovers, these scraps that I have. So I'm not completely sure how the design is going to look, but I want to dive in and use these things. I'm not quite sure about the size yet, but I think it's going to be to scale with this larger downside, and it's going to be undead themed, just like the main theme in the podcast is. And as most of you know, if you don't know, then go check it out, guys. It's cool. Of course, I say it's cool. I'm the creator of it. It is different. I've talked about that many times. You can take the link if you want to know more about that podcast. Anyways, no, I never use blueprints because I'm a horrible drawer. I can't draw things out. But of course, do use measurements on the build itself to make things even and accurate. But I think we're just gonna jump into it, guys. Let's go. So yeah, I don't know exactly the size of it yet, like I said earlier, but I do think that this is going to be the bottom, and it will go a little bit up like this. Most of these things I just start, and let's see where it takes us. Now, I know that this one camera is kind of wobbly because the tripod is a little bit unstable, so it's probably like a wobbler right now. Should be okay. Okay. I'm gonna take a bit of this bottom here. We'll start with that. 2 centimeters. This is so nice. Yeah, almost 2 centimeters. It's time to measure it up. This is 12 centimeters. This is all in Europe, guys. This is Denmark, so we're using centimeters. Google it if you want to know how it is in inches. My Nerd Hangout pen. So, how long is this? 26 centimeters. Okay, what I think about doing at this point now here is if I cut it like this, cut it off here, so I get the tip of the ship here, then I'm going to use these parts for the corner rails, all the way on the side. That's why I'm not using shifting lands, corner shaver, so it'd be completely straight. I want it to be a little rustic. It's gonna look like the wood is very uneven and broken. Like, idea now is to do like this. So you're just gonna use these one. this is way too big, so we are going to cut it down. But first I need these. Cool. How much did I get? 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. This one is the thickest, or the thickest probably should be in the front. Okay, so that again, the Gorilla tripod isn't so effective if you're shaking too much. It's wiggle, 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 wiggle. So now I have the bottom basic. I have created some other zones. And it will be too big, so I have to cut it a little bit in. I have created some big ones. I don't know how much we're going to use. Here. This is going to be in the front because it's the biggest piece. I really like this rocket style. Rough. And I have created some small one also. Small ones. I don't know if the smaller ones are going to be cool at the bottom end and in the corners. I'm going to use 4 of them. And then this is going to be here. Now, of course, there's also going to be a top level. And that's probably going to be a little bit hard for me to do stably. So I'm probably going to have to fill this bottom in. I'm going to figure that out along the way. And if you are a crafter as me, do tell me in the comments, what would you do? Because I'm not that experienced and I'm probably making this more hard than necessary. But I'm winging it. So let's just see what happens. First, I'm going to cut this a bit smaller. If I cut it 2 centimeters on each side, it's going to be 9. 2. I think that's what we're going to do, guys. And of course, it's going to be a lot smaller. But when it comes on the outside, it's going to be a lot bigger. Now, the glue, we're going to use a glue gun for this. The hot glue gun is heating up right now. Of course, I don't want this to be too hot. Because if the gun gets too hot, then it is going to ruin. It's going to melt. We don't want it to melt. That would ruin everything. Now I'm going to put a little extra glue on here to get it to really stick. I could put some toothpicks in it to like keep it steady. And I think actually I'm going to do that. And I'll always break them off afterwards. I think I have a couple here. Right. The trick is to have the perfect balance with the hot glue. And some of you use a colder glue gun. I don't know the pros and cons with each one. I've always used this hot one, but you can tell me that in comments, guys. You can educate me. Okay, I feel like using more of the small ones here. There we go. I think it's cool. Let's try and get this done before it becomes too hot. Because when it gets too hot, it's gonna melt the foam, and we don't want that. Yeah, so guys, now I have successfully removed all the toothpicks. I've glued it and it looks like a terrible mess right now. It's ugly as shit. because I am excessively gluing this because of the fragility. Is that even a word? Because these are so fragile. Some of them are a little off, and that means just I am going to bend it a little bit up when I'm going to put the sides to hold it in place. But these things are always ugly until they're finished. Don't judge an incomplete project, guys. I am still really annoyed that I cut this off before actually getting the sides, because this would basically be the right size for the top. So don't do that, guys. If you do this, be sure to cut off the bottom right away, like this, before you cut the sides off. Then you have the side that you actually want the top to be. Let's just get this one. First of all, I want it to be even, so let's just cut 1 centimeter off. So this is going not to be the sides, but going to be the top of it. It's a bit too short also. So I'm probably gonna take and make the back a little higher. The back. The main floor. Something like that. But before we get onto this, we're gonna add these pieces into the bill. Here and here. Because then I can have this on here and it's gonna be sturdy. Time to put some grids on. 3 centimeters each cube. Centimeters. There you go, guys. Grits. This is a lazy way to go. Green Stuff World. Not a sponsor. Get some texture on here. Perfect size. Make it look like wood. Texture's gonna be a little bit more seen when I paint. A good idea is to cut a little bit inside so you can see the lines more clearly when you have painted it. Just the tip of the blade, guys. And the other way. And then you take your pen and you just push it through so you can see the cuts more clearly. Let's see. As of now, this is too big. So I feel like I'm gonna cut the corners. Should I? I don't know if I should, because this is going to be like these parts, huh? When I glue this on, it's going to be a little bit more. I need the sides here first. It's going to be a bit easier to do when I have the sides. But then I could push them up. a couple of more of these guys. Okay, this glue now is going to be a problem. I need this to go all the way fucking down, man. Okay, here's where I meet my first obstacle, guys. There's always obstacles with these things. Now the problem was that there is way too much glue here. I made a mistake. The glue is taking way too much space. So now I'm going to cut them up in pieces and simply put them between each one. Definitely here in the bottom. I'm gonna have to do it like that. So right now I'm gonna measure them up. I'm going to put pieces like this between all of them. You're a little chubby there, John. Okay. We need to get all the way around here. Yes, perfect. These two are going right here. And for the back, that could work. Not quite there yet. So let's just drink some coffee and relax. Sitting here.
A few moments later.
This is sturdy as we can, boys. Now let's try not to make the same mistake again for the second row. Okay, so now how am I gonna do this? I think it would be easier if I glued this on. That burned. It's becoming too hot. But it will be better. It is at this time that our crafter starts to become very quiet. Later in the episode, or maybe the next one, we will explain why he becomes so quiet at this point. But for now, let's just observe what he does and talk about it. So what I'm doing now is making room for the floors. Like I said earlier, I have to make some fillings in the bottom that will lift the floor up so it doesn't fall all the way down. That is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to use 2 of them. And of course they're glued on with the glue gun. Yeah, looks good, Johnny boy. So the piece that I've made for the floor is a little bit too big, so I just have to measure how much I have to cut off it to make it fit. And it's a bit more narrow at the front end. Those parts I'll have to cut off as well. That fits good. Glue it on. There. And I'm measuring the front piece because it's more narrow there and cutting it so it fits perfectly. And gluing it. Watch your fingers, John. It's a bit hot. And through the full process of this, I keep pulling out the gun from power so it doesn't get too hot and melt the foam. There were some gaps in the front end, so I just cut little pieces to fit it like planks and glued them between as well. Doing that now. After this, I am measuring the sail poles just to see how they fit. But we are going to conclude this episode, and in the next episode we're going to finish the ship with the flag poles, small accessories, and then the paint job. Stay tuned, guys. Now this was a bigger project than I anticipated in the beginning, so I am going to make this a 2-parter. We're gonna stop now, but be sure to check out the next episode where we're going to paint it and make it look cool, guys. When half finished, it kind of looks kind of crappy, but trust me, it will be cool in the end. So be sure to subscribe and click that bell so you will be notified when I upload the next crafting episode of the Ocean Shredder. Thank you for the day, nerds. Goodbye.